Hey, good evening, Daryl. Mark White, how you doing? Let me get the chat, the link up here. Okay, I think we're ready to rock and roll. As soon as somebody wants to join me. It's been kind of sparse the last few days as far as people coming in, but you never know. The weather outside is frosty. It's just right at about 34 degrees. We got about 3 to 4 inches of snow today. And supposed to maybe we'll start warming up later this week. And the possibility a little bit of rain mixed in with it. So hey, here comes Justin. Hey Justin, how you doing? Yeah, and Laura.
There we go. Okay. Audio wasn't on.
So how you doing?
Good.
How
I was
you
just
how
at
you
the
feeling?
hospital really late. I'm
Yeah.
all right right now.
So it was what you thought it was, kidney stones?
Yeah, it was a lot smaller than the other one. It was 2 millimeter, where the other one was 4.
Okay.
So it wasn't as painful, but I could definitely tell what it was when I felt it. So
And
100%.
David had his operation early this morning, I guess. And
Yeah,
he's
Laura said she's keeping him another day.
yeah. Well, it's good that they do. They make sure to monitor him and make sure everything's going fine and whatever before they send him home. Okay, so he'll be out tomorrow. So, is he still complaining about no pizza, Laura? I know that was big on his list. Was he was looking, he was hungry for pizza.
Hold on. Let me find it.
What are you doing? You be a good girl. You be good.
Laura sent me a sound clip earlier. Hold on, I don't need to show, just play the audio.
Yes, but he has
Yeah.
eaten other stuff. Okay. So he's at
Beta.
least able to eat something, right? That's a good thing.
Yeah, yummy hospital food.
It's the jello, you know. What do you want?
Hey, so, like I said, some hospitals actually have really good food. So
Hey, there he is.
you can't
Mr.
really sleep on
Jackson.
hospital food.
Hey Tim, how's it going?
Like a lot of people make fun of hospital food, but like I said, some actually have really good food. Especially some of the big universities, like they have legit uh um like cafes and stuff in there. Like the one over here, the hospital over here has a really good cafeteria, but they also have a Subway in there.
I'll be right back, Justin. She's bugging the hell out of me. I don't know if she wants some more to eat or if she wants to go out. So I think she's looking for a second. Yeah, she is, but she's pointing at her dish.
Yeah, Mark, well, I don't know whatever happened to the original kidney stone I got because I don't think I ever pissed it out. I don't know. I never felt it if I did. So I don't know if that's the same one. Maybe it just broke up into a smaller piece. I don't know. Because I never passed it, at least as far as I know I did. Yeah, it could be like me. I actually got two different sets of shirts. I have actually four of both shirts. Two different shirts. I got four of each.
There's my driveway.
Like my Under Armour shirts, I got four of those, the black ones.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, I played the sound clip lore. Second ago. Oh yeah, like I said, Mark, like so some of the hospitals got nasty food, but some of them like have legit like cafeterias that are like restaurants inside of them. Some of the big universities, people will go in there just to eat. They're not even there because somebody in the hospital's there that they know. They'll just go in there just to eat because they have good food. Because you don't have to be a patient or a be seeing somebody to go in and eat at the cafeteria. You just go in there and pay for it and eat like any other place.
I'll be right back. I think now she wants to go out because she had her seconds. Hang on. Oh, yeah, go outside.
I can Russell. I definitely wouldn't fill it then.
Another traffic, go ahead. Yes, good evening, I've been over the dog operations.
Hi, hurry up.
For the day alongside.
Yeah, because this one was actually half the size of the other one. So it wasn't nearly as painful. Like I wasn't jumping around on the hospital bed like I was with that other one. Dude, that other one, they freaking drugged me up. I was in such pain. They gave me 2 shots of fentanyl and something else, like a Percocet. Oh god, dude, they had me all drugged up. But this one, they just gave me a shot of morphine in my IV when I got there. When I finally got in the room, I sat in the fucking waiting room for almost 2 hours. I should have just called the ambulance. I would have been able to go right to the back. That morphine felt really good though. I'll tell you what. I had morphine since I was a teenager when I broke my arm. But they gave me a shot of that morphine in my IV, and I just felt it like a warm coursing go through my veins. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, that feels good.
Mm. Good evening, all.
What you got on the agenda today, Dominic?
It's Wednesday. I've got a couple of things I've got to attend to, fix a few problems. Other than that, hopefully get an afternoon nap.
What's up, Daryl?
Daryl,
Luckily, they're building a second hospital in my city, so
well, that's good.
it'll alleviate some of the waiting time.
Mm.
Because last night I was in there and I asked the nurse, I said, how busy are you guys? She goes, well, we got 65 patients and 50 rooms. She goes, it was just a little busy. But they're about to build another hospital on the other side of town, so we'll have one on both sides of town. But the amount of growth that our town's seeing, we need a second hospital. I mean,
Mm.
it's getting insane here. Our ERs usually aren't that bad, Mark. Like occasionally you'll go in there and you might be a 2 to 6 hour wait, but majority of the time you go in there and you can be in and out in 45 minutes to an hour. It just really depends.
I mean,
Just, I mean, I've gone in there on days and there was nobody in there. I was the only one that was in the whole waiting room. And immediately to the back, boom, in and out in 45 minutes. Got all my vitals done, went to the back. Doctor went over with me, gave me some fluids, gave me my medications, discharged me, and I was out in 45 minutes. But right now they're getting overflown with people with the flu, and there was quite a few people in there last night that had COVID, so they were getting overran with people that were sick. It was a lot of older people in there last night that were sick. I went in there, and about 80% of the waiting room was all people in their 70s and 60s that were all masked up and sick and coughing. And
that's what I was gonna ask you, is how busy was the hospital?
well, when I asked the nurse, when I finally got a room and I asked her how busy they were, she said there was 65 patients and they only have 50 rooms
Wow.
for the emergency room. So
Mm.
they were a little busy. But like I said, 90%, like 80 or 90% of the waiting room was nothing but people around your age. They all were masked up and sick and coughing. And so they were being overran by people with like the flu or COVID and other crap.
Hello, David, good Birdman, glad to see you here.
I'm just glad I don't have to go through all the paperwork crap everybody else does when they go in there, because since my doctor's part of the same company that owns the hospital, it's just
Boom, boom, huh?
Yeah, all my records, everything are already on file.
Yeah.
They got my full medical
Good
history,
when that
everything.
happens.
And they got your insurance information and everything, yep?
Yeah, got all the details.
I can just walk up to a little machine and put my hand on the palm reader. Boom, I'm checked in. Takes
Wow.
like 2 seconds, and then you just put in what your symptoms are, and done and done. Takes like 2 minutes. And then you just walk over to the front desk and they hand you your wristband.
Now, did you
They put your
pass,
wristband on.
did you pass a stone or no?
As far as that in my kidney, as far as I know it is, I don't feel it anymore. But the last one I had, I never pissed out, at least that I know of.
Oh, you didn't?
So I don't know
Okay.
where the hell it went.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. Mine just
Yesterday I couldn't go to the bathroom to save my life, man. You know how you get that feeling where you have to pee consistently, but just nothing comes out?
Yeah.
That's the way I was almost half the day yesterday. It started around 11 o'clock in the morning, and then around 5 p.m., right when Paul went live, about 10 minutes after Paul went live, that's when I started feeling the back pain in my back. And that's why I just dropped out and left.
And you knew exactly what it was, right?
I recognized the feeling the minute I felt it. I was like, yep, it's something with my kidney. But it wasn't nearly as bad. It was about half the pain of the last one, so but it was also half the size of stone, so
Mm.
that one was only 2 millimeter. The last one I had was 4.
David put in the chat, he survived the operation. Now he's Davina.
Welcome in, Davina.
Yep.
So David says, now he's Justin Heimer father. Like Darth Vader. Mark says, so you're gonna be
God,
you're
you're
gonna
so
say
gross, Russell.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just passing it back and forth. That's disgusting. Oh my God. Wouldn't expect any less of a comment from Russell.
Russell's usually pretty on the spot, yep.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't know what happened to the last one. If it came out, I didn't feel it, so.
Hey, Russell, you're welcome to come on the panel.
Mm.
Yeah, because she was at, the nurse asked me last night, she goes, what medications are you on? I said, I don't know the freaking names of them. I was like, I can't pronounce them. I was like, my doctor's one of your guys' doctors, so all my stuff should be in there. She looked for a sec. She goes, oh, yeah, yeah, there's all your stuff right there. I was like, okay, whatever's on that list is what I have. So I was like, yeah, I can't freaking pronounce half those medications names.
Daryl says,
Mm.
I could see that conversation. Baby, lay down. I need to look for something. Ah,
That's the one.
attaboy, Daryl.
Oh yeah, it's what? What's today? Tuesday?
Yep, Tuesday evening.
Yeah. So your drone should be there tomorrow, maybe?
I'm guessing. He said he sent Lynn a message saying that things got screwed up a little bit, so it might be delayed a day or so or whatever. But
No, it's on its way there. The lady said your blood pressure is spiked a little bit. I said, yeah, probably because I'm in so much pain. I told the
Mm.
nurse last night. I said, I mean, it wasn't spiked nearly as bad. It was like 130 over 100, but I was also like, grabbing my fucking back and I was kind of moving around a lot because I just didn't feel good. So I was like, it's got to be because of the pain I'm in right now. Because every other time I've had my blood pressure checked in the past 2 weeks, it's been fine. So I've been down in the like low 80s, high 70s. So on the bottom number. I already played it a minute ago. Hold on. See, computer audio. David playing around in the hospital. Did you guys hear that?
Just barely.
No, I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, that shit happens, Russell. It is what it
Mm.
is. So it's just a day delayed. It'll be there Thursday then. Well, I played my computer audio, shared my computer audio, so I don't know why it's not coming up. It must be something with Messenger or something.
oh, last day for Amazon returns.
Mm.
Okay, is the 31st.
Well, and they were talking about the post office. some of the post offices have actually been directed that Amazon packages be priority over everything else. And a lot of there's been quite a few post offices have been complaining to the postmasters about that it's causing delays in other people's mail because of that. But they've
Yeah,
put
and-
like this priority on packages from Amazon and like Walmart and stuff,
Yeah,
saying
and,
those have to be delivered first.
and it's the average postal employee that's getting the grief over it. Yep.
Hmm.
Right. And then so people aren't getting their regular mail on time like they should be. But there is this cool thing too, if anybody that lives in the US, the UPS or the USPS actually has a online thing that you can sign up for free on their website. And they'll actually send you a picture every day of all the mail that you're supposed to receive. So you know what's coming before it's delivered.
Wow.
So when it goes through the sorting machines, it takes a picture as it scans it, and then it sends it off to your email, and you actually get an email every day, and it shows you what you're getting. So you can, so if you're
What
like,
to expect in your mailbox, right?
right. So if you're expecting like a specific letter and you're wondering if it's going to be there that day, you'll know, 3-4 hours before
That's
your mail gets
technology.
delivered.
Yeah.
And it's free too for the post office. So it's something you guys can look into if you want to. Sarah is signed up for it and she gets the thing every day from the post office. And it actually sends a scanned picture of each envelope.
Let me go over and
What's up, TJ?
TJ.
Jody, how's it going?
Jody.
Let's see here. Okay, so it's this right here. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. Anybody who's in the US. It's called Informed Delivery, and it's free to sign up for through the post office, and you'll know what you're getting delivered to your house every day. They'll send you a itemized list and pictures of the envelopes. Any of you guys are interested in signing up for that? What's up, TJ? Oh, Jody was cracking me up earlier. He was over there giving Bill all kinds of crap in the chat about his truck.
Yeah.
Is Bill still alive or did he finally end it?
No, I'll go and have a look.
He was going on 6 hours when I left. He was only 10 minutes from 6 hours.
Yeah, it's got 5. When I left, it was 5:45.
Yeah, he was at 5:51, I think, when I left.
Yeah.
He was like 9 or 10 minutes from being at 6 hours. Yep, no problem, Russell.
Yep, he's still going. He's still, yeah, he's still going.
Oh, wow. It was funny because I was on the live stream with him for like 3 hours or something, 3 or 4 hours. And then you guys were the first two to pop in, you and Jim.
Well, I didn't know as I said, I didn't know he was on.
And then
See,
I was,
Well, according to that, that meant that he started at 3 a.m. my time.
and then for about 25 minutes, I got kicked into the green room randomly because he was up there wiring. He wasn't even touching his phone. All of a sudden, StreamYard just put me in the green room.
Yeah.
And so I sat in there for about 20, 25 minutes while I was doing other stuff, just listening to him.
Mm.
He had thought I left, and then he realized I was sitting in there and let me back in.
I think I joined about 4.5
What's up, Randy?
hours in, I reckon. Randy,
Hey, Randy, how's it going?
because I joined probably about 7:45 my time. So he'd be going for 6.
Hey, drone shots, what's going on?
Yeah, Mark, usually when Lloyd
Yeah,
misses a
6
show,
and
it's because of his wife.
Hey, Mr.
Usually 'cause
Giggles.
something happened with Judy.
Yeah, I asked.
Yeah, that's about the only time he really cancels a show is if something serious happened.
Yeah, I actually asked him a question. So I sent him a PM stating that, is everything okay? He said, it's just all a little bit too much at the moment. He was tired and he wanted to keep an eye on Judy. Yay. Sounds great, David.
Nice.
Or should we start calling you Davina from now on?
Davina.
Yeah, he started that, so don't get mad if everybody starts calling you Davina now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that said he's Davina.
Oh, yeah, Mark, when you get admitted in the hospital over here, it's a pain in the ass getting discharged. They could take all day doing that shit. Same way over here.
I reckon
They'll be like, oh, you're gonna leave in the morning, and it's like 2 o'clock
Yeah.
before you finally get to leave.
when I had my bowel surgery, woke up at 9 and they fed me and had breakfast and they said, well, we're going to let you out today. 3.5 hours later, they finally did it.
Yeah. When I was admitted for ammonia, they told me I could leave the last morning I was there. They said, oh, yeah, we're going to let you go in the morning. And they came in my hospital room at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to discharge you here in a little bit. I didn't end up leaving till I think like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I finally got out of there. Although technically you could just leave if you wanted to. They really can't stop you, but then they don't give you your medicine and all that. You know, you
Yeah.
have to wait if you want all your prescriptions and everything.
It's usually, I noticed that I was free to go, but it was, you sit in we have a little sort of like a waiting room on the outside
Uh-huh.
where they, you're in sort of like a little lounge room where you sit there and you just wait for your bag of meds. And I sat there probably 2 hours.
That's one thing I never understood over here. It might be the same way over there. Is
Right?
why the hospital, when they prescribe you something, they just can't give you your prescription right there. Instead, they give you a prescription and then you have to take it to a pharmacy and get it filled.
No,
online.
there is an in-house pharmacy here. You've just got to wait for them to fill it.
Yeah, I wish they would do that more over here where you
Because
could actually
they
just
said I could either take the prescription, leave, and then go to the chemist, or just wait there. I thought, oh fuck it, I'll just wait there. It's easier. Even though I walked past on the way back home, even though I walked past the chemist I used, I thought it was just more convenient just to sit there.
Yeah, I wish they would do that over here more often, where they would just let you fucking. Where I just don't understand why they can't just bring your bottle of pills in for you and say, "Here you go," and just hand you the prescription right then as you're getting checked out.
But at the same
mean-
time, I wish they could give me some of the drugs and medication they gave me while I was there, because I thought,
Oh yeah,
feeling really good on some of the stuff they were giving me.
they've actually wrote me pain medication both times I went in for them kidney stones. I was
Mm.
really surprised that they actually gave me pain medication to take home, because they don't write that for just anything. Like it
Yeah, because
has to be certain things.
I had to ask really nicely to get a slab of, one of those little slabs of pain meds, because they just generally give you the paracetamol or sometimes ibuprofen.
Because like you could go in there like with say you just your back goes out on you or you get a really bad pulled muscle where you're in a lot of pain. They'll give you pain medication while you're there, but the minute you leave, yeah, they're not giving you anything but ibuprofen.
They're not giving you the good stuff, yeah.
But the
It's
last 2 times I went in there, and then there sometimes it's just weird. I guess it goes by the doctor, because
Yeah.
when I had my abscess tooth and I went in there, they gave me pain meds while I was there, but didn't give me anything but an antibiotic and ibuprofen when I left, even though I was still in a lot of pain. But then when Sarah went in there for abscess tooth one not too long before that, it was probably 2 months before I went in for the same issue. They gave her a whole week's worth of pain meds, Percocet, for her abscess tooth, and
Yeah, that's the stuff
so
that
I don't know.
that's the stuff I'd love to be able to get to, but they just won't let you.
So yeah, I don't understand. Like some people they'll give it to for the same thing, and then other people they don't. So I guess it just depends on the doctor. I don't know. I'll tell you that's some of the worst pain too is abscess tooth. Oh god.
Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah.
Especially because then it feels like you have a sinus infection too, because it's pressing up against your sinus cavities.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, dude, that's so bad. And then when it gets really bad, like when I first had it, I couldn't tell if it was a sinus infection I had or if it was a tooth. Like because it was just kind of all there in one spot. So I wasn't sure what it was. And then when I went into the hospital, they said, no, it's an abscess tooth.
Yeah. And for me, the only way they could remove it was to remove the tooth. but to remove the tooth, they had to put the the general anesthetic. They had to put a needle through the abscess to put the anesthetic in. So that was fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so you get like about what 20, 30 seconds of excruciating pain.
Yeah.
So it kicks in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
So
really
it's-
can't move because you don't want to break the needle off in your fucking mouth.
Exactly.
You know?
So now my pain threshold has been recalibrated. All I have to think about is that. And then every other pain I have just goes away. Because that was the top end. That's the top end of pain. So I know
yeah,
I can tolerate that level of pain. So everything else is easy.
so yeah, you get like a form of
Calibrated.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Jay?
So now I know where my pain threshold is.
Mark White says, so the next 5 days, David's gonna be living on McDonald's bean burgers.
Actually, the hospital would probably be the easiest place for him to get a legit,
Pizza?
what is it? No, like a vegetarian type meal because they have different meal plans for different people with certain conditions. And so they'll have those type of meals readily available. At least they should. Because, you know, depending on what somebody's in there for, that's what they'll adjust their dietary meals to.
I have no problem. Justin, I have no problem. Justin, I have no problem. Justin,
Laura's putting you on again. That's David, actually.
Hmm.
What is Mark White says just eat chocolate and a few curries. What's a curry?
You don't know what a curry is?
No.
It's Indian food.
Oh, okay.
Delicious. You never tried it? If you don't like hot food, then you're pretty much out.
I'll be back in a second. I'm going to call the farmers.
Okay. The
Yeah. You've never had a curry.
a curry, no. I think I've heard somebody mention curry before, but I didn't. Having never had it, you don't know what it is. Is it like a pudding or is it what?
No, it's savory.
It's what?
Savory, not sweet.
What?
The opposite of sweet is savory. It's like-
Savory. Okay.
Yeah, SAVOURY, savory. It's a food. It's
Yeah, but what's in it?
can be chicken. There can be beef, lamb, duck, goat.
But
It's-
it's mostly has a meat in it, right?
Yeah, well, it can be vegetarian curry,
Okay,
meaning it's got potatoes.
that's what David would
you know,
have, would be a
Yeah,
vegetarian.
he'd have a vegetarian curry. Probably a lentil. If I was having a vegetarian curry, it'd be a lentil,
Lentil or
uh,
bean or something.
yeah, lentil, bean. And there are different types. There are vindaloo, and well, I reckon they should start serving over here. They should start serving curry and chips. I reckon that'd be a huge one.
Laura says vegetarian curries are hotter,
Yes,
spiced, right?
yeah. And then you have a paneer, which is sort of like a bread with it, or a naan bread. And then you have a saag, which is a sort of like soupy sort of thing.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on the Indian.
That's correct. That is correct, David. They are all vegetarian curries, and then you add the meat in. I used to have an Indian friend that would cook me a curry on a Sunday. Unfortunately, he passed on, but he did the authentic Indian. Yeah, because you can have vindaloo, you can have what's the other one? Been a while since I've had Indian, but yeah, they're very tasty. If you like hot food, that's the whole thing. If you don't like hot food, then you're stuck. Personally. But yeah, it is. It's very tasty, especially when you have something like a duck or a goat curry, and then you put it, and you can put it over rice, so sort of like a sauce. Very nice.
So it's an Indian version of Chinese food.
Yeah, if you want to put it in that perspective, but it's Indian from India. Yeah. Yes, Dre. And Dre would be a man of the world, so I would think. I wouldn't. That's an interesting one because there's so many Indian restaurants over here. And when other people talk about you haven't tried Indian, oh, okay.
I don't even know where there's an Indian restaurant in my area. There isn't. I know there's not one in Port Huron, and I don't know if North Detroit has one. They probably do someplace,
Interesting.
but it's just not. Indian food isn't what everybody talks about.
That is very interesting. We've got lots of, as I said, we've got lots of, yeah, I know that, Randy. I don't know how many people have actually seen Ken Heron's video where he goes up and starts harassing people.
I haven't seen it either.
Well, Ken Dono, as an original Dobo, has called him out, saying it's not something anybody should do. So I'm pretty much in agreement with how Ken.
Well, what we don't know, Ken always walks on the edge, but
Definitely.
sometimes I think that it's pre-planned and that he uses plants to do that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That are part of the production.
Yes, Dre.
Hey, Dre, how you doing?
Good
Not
evening, sir.
bad. Not bad at all. I just want to share something for our friends overseas. So let me see if I got the right page here. I don't see it up in front of me. Okay, maybe I put it on the right page, it might be.
Oh, that'd be handy.
Yeah, it always helps when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's curry
Yeah.
powder.
Yeah, that's why I tell you, over here in the States, it's a seasoning.
Yeah.
Because Laura was talking about, no, over here it's not. And I can show you several pages. Let me go back here. There's going
Build
to be
it.
a whole list
You
of,
basically build the curry powder into a paste,
right. Yeah,
and
it's,
then you
it's
add
like
water
it's almost like,
and you boil it
a
up.
gravy or a sauce.
Well, what's that?
Yeah, like a
What's that
gravy.
picture? What's that picture right up there? Just up at the top right.
Top right here.
Right there.
Okay.
What is that? A slop or something or what?
No, that's
no,
curry. That's
that's
the
curry
curry
powder.
powder.
That's
Curry
powder.
powder.
And you build
Yeah,
it. You build it into a paste with water,
right.
and then you start boiling it up, and then you add the veggies.
Right.
and
And you see
then
the
once
ingredients
like
all right next to it. It tells you
Yeah.
right there what's curry made of.
yeah,
And turmeric is the big thing. So if you
yes,
want, turmeric is a we call it anti-inflammatory substance, and that's what's good in curry because it can reduce your swelling.
yes,
That's why a lot of people use it here in the States because it has turmeric in it.
yeah,
So I don't know what's going on over in the UK with curry, but curry here, it starts off in a powdery form, and
yeah.
and
Well, that's
you
what
can
you
mix
start
it
with.
In. Yeah, you mix it in with
You start with it, and then
different
you build
food.
it into a paste, and then that paste then builds into a sauce, and then you
Right.
add, potatoes and various.
Yeah, what
um,
Dominic was saying was you can take and build that paste and then stir in like all the Chinese food.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I say, the Indian diet is based on a lot of vegetables,
Yeah.
primarily, just like Asian diets are. Rice is a big filler.
Right, yeah, you put that on rice.
Yeah, put it on rice, or you mix it with rice to add to the more filling, and then you can chop up any kind of meat. Chicken is usually the most popular.
Yeah, chicken.
But you,
I've used chicken, lamb, beef, goat, and duck.
So
They're
they
the
have
five.
Indian egg rolls too with that or what?
I'm sure
They're-
they can.
The pakora, they've got a korma, pakora, and there's one other. It's a
Yeah,
sort of
have
like
you-
a deep fried thing.
Dre, do you have very many Indian restaurants around you down there?
We have our share, but my wife loves cooking things with curry. We have curry, dishes in my house at least once a week. And it's
Yes.
basically because she likes the turmeric that's in it to reduce inflammation.
Okay.
So like I
Yeah.
say, she might like just like we were on a fast last week, and we had a dish that just had the curry sauce from the powder, had some vegetables, some potatoes in it, no meat at all. That was it. So it was almost like a soup type thing that we ate.
I can't think of the name of it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Al, it is good, especially like I
Biryani,
said,
that was
it's almost like a chili. It's that it can be as thick as like a chili,
Yeah.
that is good on a hot day.
Butter
Like I said,
chicken.
I'm not sure what Laura's talking about. There's their curry, because curry itself is just a substance that's been ground down to a powder. It's a seasoning, a base seasoning that you can mix with other elements to create the gravy-like texture of the substance.
That was the one I was thinking. I couldn't think of biryani. That was the one I was trying to think of. I had one of those. The chicken,
gotta
the chicken
bounce.
biryani.
Gotta go pick
It
up my
is
granddaughter.
delicious. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I looked at that.
Oh,
Thanks, Laura.
here's the Indian restaurants on Google. You notice there's nothing around me. That's over in Sarnia, Ontario.
Oh,
One
okay.
One there, one there, one there, one there, and one there.
Mm.
But on the US side, there's a few down in the Detroit area, but nothing up this way, and there's nothing in the thumb or the middle of the state.
You have to go a fair way to find one.
Yep.
Ways.
Here he is, Andrew.
What's
Hey,
up?
What are your thoughts on Indian food, Andrew?
Not a big fan.
Me
You don't
either.
like spicy food, or
Not really.
Well, see, I'm not a big fan because I've never had it. So, growing up and then when I'm at 70 years old,
Well,
if you haven't had it, I don't miss it. You know what I mean?
where I lived, we didn't have many places that offered Indian food. So
Mm,
near Albany, New York, there weren't that many places that offered Indian food, you know?
Yeah.
Well, shoot, if you're not looking for
I
it,
just
you're
I
not
just
gonna
got
find
done
it.
showing that map and there's nothing near me.
What was that, Justin?
Justin, are you with us?
Yeah, I said if you're not looking for it though, you might not notice it either.
Yeah. Well, I did a Google search and it pulled up a map and there's 5 or 6 of them over in Canada. Nothing up near me, and there's about probably 15 or 20 in the Metro Detroit area down south of me. But I went and looked at the whole state, and there wasn't another restaurant, Indian restaurant, anywhere in the state of Michigan.
But if you looked up in the section under Mexican restaurants around me, you will find plenty.
Yeah.
There's more than you can count.
Mark White says there's some nice fish curries, Dominic.
yep. Fish is another one. Yep.
TJ, you coming up, TJ?
Oh, and Mark White says you can make the curry very mild by using coconut milk in some of the extremely hot curries.
Yeah, coconut milk. Or you can drink coconut milk or lassi, Lassi, which is a milk drink.
Coconut milk is also very good for hydration as well.
Yes.
I don't know if you know it, Andrew, but David had his operation this morning, and they're going to keep him for 2 or 3 days.
Was it successful?
Yep, I guess so. That's what Laura's saying.
He's supposed to be getting out tomorrow morning.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Laura, are you in here?
Yep, she is. She's in the chat. She's not on the stream. So I think she's probably with him at the house.
She went home.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because she can't even stay past 9 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's 6
'cause
o'clock.
it's almost 11 o'clock there.
Because she was
Laura?
in Bill's stream earlier saying, or might have been Messenger, where she said she was waiting for a bus to come so she could get on the bus.
Laura, is David still asking for pizza?
Well, he's getting some good hospital food right now.
Well, depending on the hospitals, there are certain hospitals the food is, you know.
Well, it also depends upon what prescribed your diet is. If you're on a very bland diet, then
Oh, there he is, the man of the hour.
yeah, Birdman is here.
Hey, David, you still have some pizza?
Yeah, plus Laura don't really need to be running around on buses at 9 o'clock at night either.
Oh,
I don't know if there was a pizza place right across from the hospital. Sometimes nowadays there's a strip mall right near the hospital that has a pizza shop or something.
Mm.
You can get food delivered to your hospital room, but you better not be on no dietary restriction, otherwise they might get mad at you.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, David, see Night Train's comment there.
They opted to make it a sooner release. That's funny.
David, you never said what kind of pizza you wanted.
I'll be a vegetarian.
Yeah, he would probably only be having
Or
one
if you want a small pizza,
veggies.
a small personal pizza, a large pizza.
No, have you ever seen David eat pizza, bro? He'll eat like a 27-inch pizza by himself.
Hmm.
He likes to chow down on pizza.
I
And
eat
don't-
about 4 slices and I'm fucking full,
And
dude.
don't be grabbing for one of the slices. He's liable to bite your hand.
Yeah, that's the now. The personal ones are about that big. They're enough for me.
Personal pan pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, usually they're pretty thick on the crust too on those. So they'll fill you up.
Depending on how big the pizza is, I'll have 1 or 2 pieces.
Domino's are not Domino's, Subway actually has some decent little personal pan pizzas. Theirs aren't bad at all.
Really?
Subway has pizzas.
Over here they do, yeah, they got personal pan pizzas. But you better tell them to cut the pepperoni up before they put it on there though, because their pepperoni's like the size of salami. And you'll go to take a bite and
Yeah.
rip off half the damn pizza.
Yeah, I hate that.
Dominic, is there Subway sandwiches in Australia?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, we've got all the main ones. We've got Subway, Macca's, KFC,
Oh,
Domino's.
about- you're getting Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. And Chuck E. Cheese is coming in. I reckon it'll do well here in Melbourne. Just don't see it doing well in any other
Oops.
capital
Well,
though.
You know what's good about going to Subway and getting a personal pan is they don't charge you for all the extra toppings like other pizza places do.
Oh,
It's
you can
just
have
like a
whatever you
su-
want on it, and they just
It's just like a sub. You just walk down the line and tell them what you want on it. It's
Oh.
like $5 or $6. It's not very expensive. It's like $6, I think.
Our 6 inches, I think, about $8.95.
I mean, there's better pizza out there, but they're not bad if you want to stop and grab a quick personal
Well,
pan.
Let me turn on light.
Convenient. Well, that's why I go to Pizza Hut. It's only like 700 or 800 meters away.
Your Subways might have them, Dominic. They don't really advertise them.
Okay, I'll go and have a look. I'll
They
be
might
walking past this afternoon.
Yeah, they might have them. They just don't advertise them very much. Usually, there's just a little small part on the menu.
Okay, I must go
Because
and have a
Laura-
look then.
Laura says they have them over there, so they might have them in Australia too.
Generally, what they have in the UK is what they have here. We're
But
more,
like I
we're more aligned with the UK policy.
But like I said, when you go to like pizza places, usually they'll be like 1 or 2 toppings is what you get with it.
Yeah.
And then they'll charge you extra if you want extra toppings. But Subway, you just walk down the line and build it like a sub.
Yeah, because with the personal pizzas at Pizza Hut, they're about this big, but you only get 3. You only got 3 choices: Americano, pepperoni, and margarita.
Just
And
beware the atmosphere at Chuck E. Cheese is always a lot of kids, sometimes cheap pizza.
Yeah, we had a place called Smorgy many years ago that was very similar to Chuck E. Cheese.
Did it go out of business or?
Yeah,
Chuck E. Cheese is still around. They've closed a lot of stores, but they're still around.
They used to have a lot
yeah.
of Chuck E. Cheeses in the malls here, and then when
Yeah.
the malls started to shrink and close up, Chuck E. Cheeses went bye-bye.
yeah, same went for Sizzler. That died.
Because there
That's
were
what
a few that had the animatronic, the mouse Chucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They had animatronics.
yeah.
I haven't been to
think
Chuck E.
it's
Cheese
fine.
in years.
Corey. Hey, Corey.
I think that style would still work here.
Last time I went to Chuck E. Cheese was with my nephew, and I think he was probably about 8 or 9 at the time, so it's been a while. It's been at least 10 years since I've been there.
24.
I watched somebody walk through an abandoned or closed, I guess it was abandoned or closed down. And
Yeah.
they still had like all the tickets and the machines and all the coins and the coin pusher and everything. Like,
Mm.
but it was
Uh,
like pretty much shut down. All the windows were broke out. All the machines were still in there, but of course, people went through there and busted all the
Were-
machines open,
Mm.
trying to see if there was money and shit still in them.
Well, if you can get free money, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
People do crazy stuff for free money.
I don't know if I can remember, my memory isn't what it used to be, but I thought there was a chain that had pizza buffet, all different kinds of pizzas on a buffet. You just go all you can eat,
We used
Was
to
that-
have Pizza Hut all you can eat, but that was shut
Um,
down.
Justin, was that CC's Pizza?
Yeah, they still have CC's Pizza. I have one in my town that's still open.
Is that a buffet?
that-
all
is
you can
that-
eat?
Yeah, that's the buffet one, or you can have them make you your own custom pizza,
Okay.
or you can get whatever's on the buffet. But what you do is you go get this little, they have this little
TJ.
like booth that you go to and you fill out a little ticket and you put like, you just check mark all the toppings you want and then you hand it to the person and then they'll make it and bring it to your table.
They'll make you a custom one, or on the buffet they probably got all the regulars, right?
Yeah, they have like cheese and pepperoni and they have like all the basic ones
Wow,
on the
Mark.
buffet, and then they have a salad bar
Y-
and then usually a little arcade.
Mm.
Mark, is that the authentic Indian or is that the English iteration of Indian food?
Yeah,
Last
English
time-
Indian.
Last time I was in CC's Pizza, dude, I cleaned out their fucking claw machine. Because their claw machine didn't have like, it wasn't one of those ones with the loose claws. Dude, I was getting, they had one that had a bunch of the little spiky bouncy balls in them
Yeah.
that are about, 2 or 3 inches wide. And
I'm trying to remember. I'm
I
trying to-
probably got about 10 of them out of there before I fucking
Aren't
decided to
those the
stop.
balls that they advertise for pets? Got the
Well, they're like a
Uh,
hard.
they're
bouncy
hard.
ball, but-
Okay.
but-
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're like a bouncy ball you would buy at Walmart, but they got like spikes on them.
Okay.
And I think I got like 10 of them out of the machine, and I won one every single time I did it. And then finally I just stopped because I was like, dude, they're probably gonna get pissed off if I sit here and clean this machine out. Because I
Well,
was
did
like
you have
handing them out
did
to
you
all the
have to
kids in the
pay each
arcade.
time? Did you have to pay each time or no?
Yeah, it was $1 a play.
Okay. So
But I
you
was,
you spent $10 on 10 bouncy balls.
yeah, and I was handing them out to like all our kids got one, and then I handed them out to all the kids in the arcade that didn't get them.
Okay.
We used to have all you can eat Pizza Hut, and I think they closed it down after a friend of mine now passed on, and myself went there one day and had 48 pieces of pizza between us,
Wow.
and they also and you in that price. I can't remember how much it was, but they had a soft serve machine there where you could have as
Yeah,
much as you
soft
want.
serve. Yep,
Oh,
with
soft
all the
serve ice cream?
toppings and everything.
And we made a soft serve that was 30 centimeters tall.
Yes.
I wish they'd have those sort of things now, because I'd love to put some of those things on, your TikToks or your Instagrams or your, whatever social media.
Yeah,
You could
we had
have
those.
fun.
We
You'd
had a
have real
small.
fun having 25 pieces of pizza.
We had a small, cheap restaurant next to the high school we used to go to after swim meets, and they had the same ice cream machine Dominic is talking about. And a couple kids used to have ice cream about yay high.
That's true
On
too,
the
Kim.
cone?
Yeah, Pizza Hut. Some Pizza Huts used to have buffets. I don't know if they still do, but
Not here.
there's two different kinds of Pizza Huts here. You have the
we no
regular
longer
Pizza Hut,
have.
and then you have Wing Street.
Yeah, we have Wing Street inside Pizza Hut.
And those are like just smaller Pizza Huts that you just go in and get your order. It's not really a sit down place.
Yeah, we don't have any Pizza Hut restaurants. They're all takeaways now.
Corey.
All of the Pizza Huts that were the restaurants where you'd sit down have now been taken over by another Pizza Hut chain called La Poqueta. We've got
So
Well, Pizza Hut's
Two or
owned
three.
by what's the corporation? I think it's called NPC, and they own
Uh,
that. I think Kentucky Fried Chicken, A&W,
Yeah, they bought up
I
like
a
think
Arby's.
franchises, yeah.
we
I
don't
Yeah, they
have
own
we
a
don't
bunch
have
of them.
we don't have Arby's. Well, you can find A&W root beer here.
I think
very
it's called
hard to find.
NPC is the name of it.
Yeah, one chain I don't hear or see it from anymore. Remember Roy Rogers? They had a small chain of like Arby's type of roast beef.
Let's see here.
Still going.
Oh, it's called Yum Brands. I thought it was like NPC something. But they own Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell. And it's a subsidiary of PepsiCo. So,
Yeah, see, we don't.
or
which one?
formerly a subsidiary of PepsiCo. So it
We have
used to be
Taco
Pepsi.
Bill, not Taco Bell.
covering them up. Dominic.
I thought they owned more companies than that.
Cover them up.
Yeah, I thought they owned more fast food places than that.
I don't know what they bought and sold over the years. You know? So what did he?
Okay, so they own A&W, Long John Silver's, KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and Habit Burger Grill, except for the ones in China. So I'm gonna assume those are like off, like probably not legit, or they probably stole the branding, like they do with a lot of stuff. Yeah, they've owned quite a few brands over the years. Some of these I've never even heard of. Huh. Well, they actually
Oh.
they were 2017, they were planning on opening, they had plans to open 10 Pizza Huts in Ethiopia. Wonder if that ever went through.
Interesting.
Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Ethiopia one of the poorest countries in the world?
Well,
Actually, the
when
poorest
you say the poorest countries in the world, you've got your upper class that are billionaires, and you got the people on the streets that are just kind of skidding along.
Yeah.
Actually, the poorest country I think is
I think one of them's
What
in
the hell is it?
Africa. In
Well,
Africa, isn't it?
Ethiopia is northern Africa,
Yep.
Yeah.
just
what is it?
beside former Abyssinian.
So Nigeria, I think, is the poorest. Somalia.
Well, they're
Oh,
all in
that's-
Africa. One you mentioned.
well,
Roy
that's-
Rogers restaurants.
Has he?
that explains why some people from Nigeria try to hack your various
Mm.
accounts.
Yep.
This Roy Rogers almost seems like a version of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Mm. That's another one we don't have. Chick-fil-A.
I do not know if Chick-fil-A is international or not. I don't know.
We don't have them here.
Look at that. Look at that. Texas Pete is a
Oh.
spicy chicken sandwich. Look at the color of that thing. I bet it is spicy.
Yeah, that
Hey.
looks good.
Justin, that looks like right up your alley.
Justin likes spicy foods, doesn't he?
I do. I'm a sucker for spicy foods.
I think that's how I think that's how
Oh.
I got all my complaints. I ate too much spicy food. I rotted it from the inside.
World's smallest GDP is Tuvalu. Valia?
Where is that at?
Tuvalu.
Never heard of it.
And it's their GDP. It's the smallest economy in the world. It's only 70 million a year.
Jesus.
Fucking military over here will spend that in 2 minutes.
2 weeks.
Altogether, the entire world's economy is 94 trillion.
So about a
And
third of the world's.
The US has
third-
is about a quarter of the world's GDP. At 24 point something, I think, trillion.
Well, our
Yeah.
debt is a third of the world's GDP. It's
Yeah,
about
but-
30 something trillion.
Well, most of the US debt isn't actually foreign debt, though. Actually, a very small part of it is. Only a
Yeah.
couple trillion is.
Jim
Most of it's
Jackson,
just
you're right.
the
Ponderosa
government
was a
borrowing
great
against
steakhouse.
themselves.
Never heard of it.
Most of the US debt is just, honestly, it's just made up. It's the government borrowing from themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So what
Doesn't
was
exist, really.
this?
Tuvalu. Tuvalu's in the
Tuvalu.
Pacific, I think. It's nearer to me than you.
Has anybody been tracking what's going happening in Texas? I've been
Oh, you're
I've been
talking
kinda
about
watching
the president versus the governor? Yeah.
yeah, well, it's the president versus 25 governors now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Ooh.
24 other governors signed like this petition thing where there's actually gonna send their National Guardsmen
Did-
all down there.
Did you see also there's going to be a convoy of trucks going from about Virginia through Florida, going westbound, end up near whatchamacallit Park, Texas,
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Arizona.
Canadians are gonna be in that too. It's a Canadian
They want anybody
and
that's
US
interested.
co-op thing. that they're
Anybody
doing.
that's interested will join. That's what they want.
What are they doing? Going down and getting a bunch of illegal aliens and going to take them up to Canada or what?
No. Canada and the US truckers are doing a convoy together. There's supposed to be a bunch of Canadian truckers in that convoy too. From what they
Well
said.
done, mate.
Well, we want to do what I'm not sure we want to do what France is doing. France, the farmers want to block the entrance to every main road into the capital,
Hmm.
which
So they-
includes which include their governor's mansion.
Yeah, because he's screwing them over.
Yeah, I
trying
saw
to
there
sc-
was a big protest going on over there.
They got tractors blocking the roads.
Yeah, I saw the big ass
Oh.
photo. I saw some video and some photos of the tractors. Yeah, it was crazy how many were out there. Looked like a damn concert going on with all the flashing lights and shit.
They're deploying police trying to do something, but I don't think that's going to work very well.
But yeah, the thing is 24. So down in Texas, they're talking about the president is talking about federalizing Texas National Guard so he can control that what they're doing. But the other governors all said that they're going to send down their own National Guard. So it's going to turn into a big shit show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Corey. Corey got his new mic. But
But I
Judah
honestly-
says she can't hear.
I honestly think the vast majority, I want to say about 90% of the military wouldn't support the government if it came down to between the government and the citizens. I think that they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't go for it. Too many people in the military are very constitutional and love the country, and that's why they volunteered. And they have that same value of the government shouldn't be overreaching and stuff. I just don't see it happening.
I'm an overreach.
Just go to the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
There's actually more veterans than there are active personnel. I think they outnumber them by like 20-1 or some shit. But like
Just
I
go to
said, I don't
PO
think even active personnel. I think if it came down to the government trying to say, oh, you got to go out and just start harassing citizens and stuff like that, whatever it might be, that would go against any citizen's constitutional rights, I don't think that they would do it. I have faith that the military would never do that.
Despite my grandfather was a civilian in the army, he would never have done that. Never. Even if they had told him to, he would never have done that.
But I don't know, like we'll see. We'll have to see how this whole Texas thing plays out because, I mean, you got 25 states that are kind of telling the federal government to F off. So we'll see how that goes.
Is Louisiana in there too?
I don't know, to be honest. I can't
Oh,
remember
okay.
all 25 of them. I know my state is. I just
Oh,
was kind of,
Ooh,
I know Florida is.
I'll have to see if South Carolina is involved.
But they pledged to send help down to Texas with their own National Guards if push came to shove. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think in
gonna be-
order to federalize the National Guard, I think they have to enact, I think it's Article 10 or something, and that's a whole legal nightmare in itself. I think the only time that the National Guard that I can remember in history, I think was ever done is when the schools were trying to not be segregated anymore. And that one governor wasn't allowing the other kids to come in the school. And I think he federalized their National Guard or something. So he could force the governor's hand or whatever. I don't know. It's something back in I want to say it was back in like the 50s or 60s. Might have been the 70s. I can't remember. It's something that hasn't been done.
Yeah, it's been a while. And right now they're finishing up drawing impeachment papers for
Mayorkas.
Mayorkas.
Yeah, well,
If it goes all the way through and then all the way through the Senate, then he'll be the first to be impeached. In
shit, the last president that actually was impeached, and I don't even know if he was impeached, he just resigned, was what was it?
Nixon.
Watergate, yeah, Nixon.
yeah,
I
Watergate.
know they tried to impeach Bill Clinton back during that whole Monica Lewinsky thing, and that never happened.
Now, every now and then, I hear him talk about Monica Lewinsky. I'm like, what do you do now? Because I think it was like a 25 years since that happened.
Yeah, it was
Or
back in the
something.
late 90s
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Bush took over in 2000.
Mhm.
Obama was 2008, so yeah. It would have been like 98, 99, I think. 97, somewhere in there. It would have been the late 90s.
Hello, brother Ken and Lance.
Justin, my high school is rolling out our rival HS and Rocket League. Best of 3. We have taken the first 2 games. Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Awesome, Lance. They actually have a real life Rocket League with demolition vehicles and a big old soccer ball that they beat around the field, and they have 2 goals. It's just like a demolition derby, and they play like a real life type Rocket League with a big soccer ball.
Yeah, the district I went to, they kept trying to get a little league going for remember Harry Potter Quidditch? They kept trying to get
Mhm.
a Quidditch game going.
Yeah, well, you can blame frickin' Clinton for the whole rise of China. That was his fucking fault.
Good one, Tim.
He was the douchebag that started that whole issue. Now that has become now a problem now.
Tim, Bill can actually play very good sax.
Sex or sex?
What did you say?
Saxophone. Saxophone.
SAX-ophone, not SEX phones.
Yeah,
He used to play
Sax.
both of those instruments, his own
he
and
did.
and he used to use let Monica finger his saxophone.
Well, because I think he was the one that signed. What was it? The Was it called NAFTA? What was the name of that?
Yeah.
The
North
thing he
American
signed in.
Free
Association.
trade. Yep.
Yeah, that was the whole thing that got China all on the world stage, and that's when all our manufacturing jobs started disappearing, and it just accelerated from there. It was his stupid ass that started all that.
So how you doing, TJ?
Yeah, and Tim Jackson's in the chat.
Jody, what was the video?
He must be at work, isn't he, Dominic?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Tim
Well, it's
Jackson.
Yeah.
9
He says
9:30.
Yeah.
Rigger.
getting tired or hungry there, TJ?
The
Well, I'm going to drop out for a few minutes, so I'll see you on the other side.
okay, Dominic.
All right.
Good one, Corey. Paul, do you see Corey's comment there?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Corey, are you sure you're not part comedian? Good question, Rigger. Of course, I don't know the answer.
Probably this weekend, Tim says. So Justin, other than no side effects or anything from your hospital visit?
Not really.
Okay. And no more pains or
No, not really. Just slight stinging here and there, but other than that, no.
Feeling
Not
a
like
lot
yesterday,
better.
no.
So you're
Oh,
feeling a
yeah.
lot better?
A lot better than yesterday.
Not a hundred
Felt like
percent, not 100% though, right?
oh no. I felt like remember the movie The Green Mile when he finally gets relieved when the dude heals him? And he goes in the bathroom and finally takes a piss and he's like, ah, that was me earlier. Because yesterday it just felt like I had to pee all the time. Like it was just nonstop feeling like I had to go to the bathroom, but just nothing would come out. It would just dribble out in little drops. That was it. So I'm assuming that the stone was blocking up my ability to go to the bathroom. So
I thought
I
they
don't
were
know.
giving you pills to dissolve said stone.
No, they don't give you that unless it's over 4 millimeters, and both of mine were only 4 and 2 millimeter. If it's 5 or over, then they go in and they do like some minor surgery on you.
Uh, Justin, do you see Tim in the chat?
Yeah, I mean, I only took him on his recommendation though. He was like, "These ones work real good for me." He was like, "Try these ones out." I was like, "All right."
Well,
The
you know,
doctor
if
was
you're
a little
hurting bad
tips.
enough, you'll try anything, right?
The doctor was a little worried why my male friend from Australia was telling me to try the same estrogen pills he was on, but I was like, let's just give it a shot.
Well, your doctor has no Tim's background, so who is he to judge?
Rigger says they're not suppositories, Justin.
It is. You put them in a little warm, put them in some little piece of paper towel and put some warm water on it, and just right up there.
It's a little easier. A little easier going in, huh?
That was from Hot Tub Time Machine. He goes, "I know you people got Adderall." He's like, "I don't have Adderall." I watched that movie again the other day. I hadn't seen it in a while. It's actually as cheesy as the title is. It's still a funny movie. Have you ever watched Hot Tub Time Machine? It's pretty
No.
funny.
Long
It's
while
actually
ago.
anybody who grew up in the 80s would enjoy that movie because when they go back in time, they go back to when they were teenagers in the 80s. And like I said, if you grew up in the 80s, it will bring back a lot of memories for you.
I was almost 40 in the 80s.
Have you heard of the movie?
And it's got
No?
some really good actors in it. Like I said, as cheesy as the title is, the movie itself is very funny.
Is Adam Sandler in it?
No,
Oh, it's not the
it's
movie.
got John Cusack and I can't remember the other guys' names, but like I said, as cheesy as the title is, it's a very funny movie, and it's worth a watch. If you ain't seen it.
Well, there's a Hot Tub Time Machine from 2010,
All right, let me see.
and then there's a second one from 2015.
Well, you said what year did you say it was in? Justin?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What
What
year
year?
was it made, the movie?
Oh, it was made back in like 2012, maybe 2010, something like that.
Yeah,
It's not that
2010.
old of a movie, but what it is they pretty much these four friends
It's
and
nostalgic type of thing.
yeah, these four friends go and they go to their old I'm gonna check that site out here in a little bit, Smoking.
Class reunion or something.
I got it saved as a shortcut. But no, what they do is they go back to the ski resort that they used to go to back when they were teenagers and party. And they decide to go on a little road trip together and go back to the ski resort that they used to hang out
Corey
with. And they
says
get
Craig Robinson, Rob Cudray, and Sebastian Stan.
yeah, those are the other three guys. But
There's also grown-ups.
But what it is pretty much the four guys, they all get in the hot tub together at their hotel room that they're staying at the ski resort. They get all drunk and they spill this liquid on the hot tub like dial or whatever. Well, it takes them back in time to the 80s when they were teenagers and they have to relive the time when they were teenagers. in that
Dominic's on
year.
the stroll.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Tim would like it.
Yeah.
It's really funny, Tim.
Time for a coffee.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah. 7-Eleven.
Corey, do
Hot
you have
co-
that on your Plex server?
You're going for hot coffee or iced coffee?
Nah, hot coffee.
More flavor?
It's just
Coffee.
normal.
Coffee flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a second one
Yes,
too. It's not
Dominic,
bad.
you don't drink those prissy drinks, do you?
Nah.
Well,
Yeah, if anybody in the chat would enjoy that movie, I think Tim would really like it. And there is a part 2 that was pretty good too.
Yeah, Smoking
I
says
like the
there's a
first.
Hot Tub Machine 2.
Yeah, the first one was I like the first one better, but the second one's pretty good too. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm back.
Mark.
Oh. All right. Oh. Bit of a cramp there. Just walk it out. Ah, that's
You're
better.
getting a workout?
No. Just crossing the street. Then when I went back onto the footpath, seemed to just landed awkwardly. Oh.
Well, if you need help, there's a red cross right behind you.
Yeah,
Eh,
that's a
Oh.
good site, and also this one too. I'll put in the chat. I know most of you guys have already seen this link, but there's that one as well. You guys can check out both of those sites. I was just looking at that one, Smoking. It's almost the same site as the one I've recommended.
Buddy.
They're both pretty good. They got all the latest movies and stuff you can watch for free. And they got TV shows, all that stuff.
Do you need a VPN to use it, or?
No, not really. No, it's just a website. You don't have to log in or anything. You don't even have to have an account. Like there is a thing that says that you can create an account, but I haven't. I just go in as a guest. I don't.
Corey, have you seen Oppenheimer?
They have that on there. On the sites. Yeah, I don't know if Corey has it, Tim, but I don't know if he said he has it or not, but he has Hot Tub Time Machine, but I think you'd like that one. Yeah, Corey, what'd you say there's you said you found a decent copy of Beekeeper? I still want to see that. I want to see ISS when it comes out. That looks really good.
I heard there's a
Maybe.
new version of a new Godzilla coming out.
Yeah, it's Godzilla -1.
Ah,
It's on those sites, but it's a cam version. They recorded it in the theater, so it's not a very good copy.
hi Gibbs. What?
Yeah, they got the cam version on and the cam versions really aren't bad on those sites. It's just the audio is kind of all right, cool. Awesome, Corey. I'll have to check. I'm definitely gonna watch that later then.
I'll have to check out Broflix.
Oh, see, the one I have doesn't have that, so that's awesome. Cool. Check that out.
Smoking is brown flakes. You have to pay for the sports.
No, dude, it's not the most legal site. That's what we're saying.
Okay.
Everything's free on there. You only have to log in. You just click on the site and go to it. I just create shortcuts for them on my computer, and I just click on it, takes me right to the website. So watch that. Let me here. I'll show you kind of what we're looking at here. So if you go to one of the links that we put in the chat there, Andrew, it will come up looking. It'll look like this here. And you literally, it will
There we
say
go.
HD. So if it's HD, it's an HD copy. If it says cam, that means it was recorded on a screen. But you just click on them and play them. That's it. You don't have to watch any ads. But yeah,
Okay, Corey. Well, they must have stored some.
no,
Some.
like if you,
It's
they
got to
don't
be
store
stored
anything.
somewhere.
Yeah, but they don't store anything you're doing. Like, so if you are watching a movie and you leave the site and come back, it starts over. It doesn't start off from where you left off. So it doesn't keep any information on what you're doing,
Oh yeah.
is what he means by that.
Oh, okay.
So like, what it is, it's just third-party servers connected to the site. But you can pick different servers if, like, say, you go to watch the movie and it's being a little janky on that server, you can click it on to another server. And you can do it on your phone too. I have a shortcut on my phone for them as well.
What flavor you get, Dominic?
Just normal, every day.
No pumpkin spice or anything?
No, no. We don't have pumpkin spice over here.
Huh.
It's one of those automated ones where you just hit buttons.
It spits a cup out the bottom and then fills it up for you.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, you see those in hospitals and stuff.
Yeah, you put the coffee goes in, then the milk, the frothed milk goes in after it. Yeah.
They actually have at Sarah's job, they have a Krispy Kreme's donut machine that supposedly spits out
Oh.
hot donuts. I've never
Yeah.
tried it. I kind of want to try it one
Wow.
day just to try it.
I've never heard of
But-
any hospital that has one.
Yeah, it's a Krispy Kreme's donut and machine. It's fucking huge too. It's not small at all. This thing's massive. It's like 2.5 Coke machines. Like, it's big.
Yeah.
And it supposedly
So-
it spits out hot, fresh donuts. So I don't know if
Right.
it
So
makes the
no-
donuts in the machine or what.
No one's gonna try to steal that thing.
Well, like I said, it claims on the outside that it makes hot, fresh Krispy Kreme donuts. So I don't know if it just reheats them in the machine or if it actually makes them fresh in the machine. I don't know.
It might make them, but then keep it warm at a certain temperature.
But like I said,
Well,
I don't
doesn't
know.
Krispy Kreme, Justin, are they the ones that donuts are on a conveyor belt and goes through the oven, or?
Yeah, and then they have the light outside that says they'll turn the light on whenever they have fresh donuts coming right out of the fire.
Yeah.
I think Dunkin's does it too. Dunkin's Donuts does that too. But the size of the machine would indicate to me that it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't make them right there in the machine, because like I said, this Krispy Kreme's machine is like 2.5 Coke machines. It's huge. It's massive. It's not a little machine at all. It's huge. It takes up a big space. But like I said, I've never tried it, but apparently you can get, I think, a 6-pack of donuts and you can get a dozen donuts. And they're supposedly they come out hot and fresh. That's what it says, the machine.
Mark is asking you about pictures of pizzas in the Philippines, Justin.
Justin, did you see the pictures of pizzas that? Hold on. Let me show him. Mark just sent them to me. I don't know, Jonathan, but dude, you should see some of the machines they have in Japan.
Oh,
Japan has some of the coolest fucking vending machines. that spit out
Chip-
like hot bowls of soup and shit. Like,
How you doing, Jonathan?
yeah.
Holy crap. Look at this. Holy crap.
That's one of the biggest pizzas I've seen yet.
Oh, that's them probably trying to break a world
World
record or
record.
something.
Yeah.
Or it might be some kind of
Yeah.
town, or it could be
Uh,
some kind of town
think it was-
tradition that they do every year or something.
But you know what? When you make a pizza that big, it can't taste very good.
But there's a guy called Eric. I think his
Mm.
channel's name is Eric's Travels, and he lives in Japan. And he spends like all his videos are mainly him going around different parts of Japan, and he like literally lives out of vending machines. But these vending machines over in Japan are insane. Like the amount of I think per capita, Japan has the most vending machines of any country.
Oh, I'd agree with that, I'd say.
I think there's like 10 vending machines for every one person or some crazy crap like that. It's like an insane amount.
Just going to turn the camera around for a sec. This is supposed to be summer. And look at that.
Oh.
Uh,
You're getting shitty weather.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because it should
Well,
be bright and sunny, right?
Yeah.
Dominic, that's
Should be
just a
bright
chance.
Not 90s and the hundreds. Not the late, sorry, low 60s, early 70s. Shit.
Well,
19
Dominic,
degrees
that's,
Celsius.
that's just a chance, you know?
Well, he's pretty close to the equator too.
Well, not me, but Tim's closer.
Australia basically is closer to the equator than like
Yeah.
I am up here in Michigan to the equator.
Yeah. I'm a little bit further south.
I don't think that's his name.
Oh, Tim says he'd rather eat a green bean casserole over a pizza any day. Not me.
But, but I heard one of the biggest pizzas ever sold was it was for charity. It fed over 200 people.
Well, it probably could feed over 200 people. I wonder how many of those 200 people actually ate it, because if you've ever seen an oversized pizza, a big oversized pizza, I mean, one like 15 feet.
Yeah, if you guys,
It's yucky.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop out and go back onto the laptop.
Okay.
all right, we'll see you later. This is the link to that guy's channel that does the vending machines if anybody wants to check it out. But he actually did a episode where the Russian hacker came over to Japan and went around with him to a bunch of vending machines. But he does some really interesting videos though. The like I said, the vending machines in Japan are crazy. Some of the shit that these vending machines do. They have ones
Well,
over here in some places that do pizzas. You'll find them every once in a while.
Because Japan is one of the largest, has one of the largest amounts of vending machines per capita in the world.
And they are. I think they're number one.
Of what kind of machines?
Vending machines.
Vending
Just
machines.
vending
Vending.
machines.
Okay.
But they have like really extensive vending machines that like literally make like fresh hot soup bowls of soup and like that like literally build the food within the machine and then spits it out the other side. Like they just have these really mechanical type vending machines.
Like
that are really cool.
robotic. I will never see it. Maybe you guys will, but like on Star Trek where you just walked up to a machine, punch a button, tell it what you want, and it produces it.
Oh, the
What do they call it?
Replicator.
Replicate.
yes, replicator. Tim.
They actually made fun of
Yeah, I
that
wouldn't
machine
mind.
in Orville. You remember that,
Wouldn't mind
Dominic, in
one of those,
Orville?
I tell you.
That's how they all got addicted to cigarettes. Remember that in Orville?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
They
hilarious.
went up to the machine. He was like, "I want a cigarette," and the machine spit out a cigarette. And then all of a sudden, that one guy was all really addicted
Mortis.
to him. Yeah,
Is
Mortis.
we have a problem. We're addicted to cigarettes.
Well, you know what Tim wants for vending machine, right, Justin?
Yeah, I'd want one of those too.
Oh,
I
Hooker
would rather
machine.
them not be hookers because that means they're reused.
Oh yeah. I'd rather ones that are worn in than anything
What?
new.
What?
You'd rather have it worn in?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
It'd have too many bugs in it.
Yeah, he
Oh, we talking women or computer viruses here? What the hell are we talking about?
Oh,
Computer
sorry. I think
software or
you're
what?
talking
We're
women.
talking Tim
talking
Jackson
about
here.
women.
We're talking about Tim Jackson.
Technically, they
sorry.
already have that.
Oh, you're
Tim. There's
talking
apps
women.
you can download for that.
Sorry. I should read more carefully.
He said vending machine that serves hookers.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. And you said you'd rather
Why
have
would-
them worn in.
I'd
Yeah.
rather buy something new, not used.
I'd rather a version 2 than a version
yeah.
1. Too
Well,
many
it's kind of,
bugs.
it's kind of like
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's kind
I
it's
agree with that part.
it's kind of like wearing a new pair of shoes. You got to break them in, right?
Yeah. I'd rather something that's already broken in.
Yeah, I'm good. I'd rather do the breaking in.
Dom, you could have Tim's seconds.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Mike, how's it going?
What's up, Mike? Yeah, I just oh my god.
Say did Justin, did Bill get his camera hooked up to his truck?
Yeah, he got it all finished. The last of the live stream, he was just putting getting the wires covered and taped up and putting the harness back up in the under the truck, and then he was done.
Yeah,
But everything was working.
that was what he was talking about earlier in my show. We were talking about hooking that
Yeah, he
all up.
spent 6 hours getting it all hooked up on a
I
live
bet.
stream.
Well,
Let
because
me
he
have a
had
look and tell you.
running
I
the
see.
wires from one end of the truck to the other.
7 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow.
When I left, he was pretty much done. He just was
He's had it-
running
yeah, 'cause
some.
He's had 2 hours more than when we left.
Yeah, he was about 99% done when I left. I mean,
Yeah,
he was right
We
there
just
at the
Yeah.
end.
taping up a few things.
Because near the end, someone asked, "Is that foreskin or forescan?"
Yeah, forescan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of the way the people were pronouncing it sounded like they were saying foreskin.
foreskin. Yeah, force scan. FORCE. Force
Like-
scan.
I would have never named it that.
Tim Jackson says that Dominic, you can have his seconds anytime.
Okay.
Well, it's because some people pronounce it like it's one word. I
Yeah,
think it's supposed to be
foreskin.
2 words, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
I'm sure it'd be possible.
Jonathan, it's possible. Probably.
There was a guy when I was in church, back when I was a kid, who was the assistant pastor. And whenever he would do his sermons, he claimed he was a virgin and he was in his 50s at the time. I don't know. He claimed that. Whether it was true or not, I don't know. But he used it whenever he would do his, his sermons about, sex before marriage and all that. He would always claim, because he was never married, that he was still a virgin. I guess it's
Yeah.
possible. I don't know.
You never know. with that one.
No, actually, I would say that's not. There's
I'm-
definitely people out there for 100%.
Yeah. And the other hand, you never know.
No, there's definitely people out there that have probably gone their whole lives without having sex. That's just to say that's not a probability.
Tim.
That's had to have happened at some
That
point.
would be
in
a
history.
miracle, Jim said.
Oh, Jonathan, as our
I would say in modern society, you're probably less likely to find that.
as our old relative says, anything's possible.
But then you do have a lot of like religious groups out there that, like you have the nuns, you have monks, all those claim to not do anything like that. So I don't know.
That's between them and God.
Well, like I said, they
Very
claim
funny, Tim.
because there are some women that get that pledge their allegiance to being a nun in their teens, and they're a nun their entire lives. So I don't
Yeah. Don't know why.
know. Jonathan had to put the emojis at the end. He's like, I'm gonna need a clarification on that.
Oh, did you hear? Elon Musk has a few patients that are he's implanting a chip so you can navigate electronics using their brain.
Mm.
That doesn't surprise me. Implants are going to help a lot of people with medical issues in the future.
Yep.
But
I mean, look at what how successful was it? What do they call them? Cochlear implants, the ones that the deaf people
Cochlear.
use.
yeah.
And that
Those
was
are-
actually designed in Melbourne.
Those have
Oh.
actually done a lot of good
Yeah,
for a lot of
cochlear
deaf
implant.
people.
Designed by the CSIRO in Melbourne. I cannot remember the guy's name.
But yeah, it's helped a lot of deaf people out, and eventually you'll be able to get it to where you won't have to have that device on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Because they put a device in the head, but then you have to have that like magnetic thing on your head, and then it runs behind your ear. But eventually, you're not going to have all that. It'll just all be inside your head. You won't even know you have it.
If that is last year what he did, Tim, then what did he do this year?
He's been talking about that for years, though. About doing
But he's actually doing it.
technology like that.
No, I can't remember the guy's
That
name.
wouldn't surprise me though. He's got his hands in so many pots of very technical things.
But I'm surprised more companies aren't trying it. Or at least
I
they're
said
more
all these
vocal about it.
companies can get pissed off at Elon all they want, but guess what? They're all relying on him right now. Because they want to get their satellites in the sky. Who else are they going to go to? They're all relying on SpaceX right now because NASA ain't doing jack shit.
Jonathan, are you saying you want to steal the Enterprise again?
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many companies out there that have to rely on SpaceX at the moment that Elon's got all these big companies by the balls. They can all piss off. They want to get mad at him. You know, like Disney and stuff. Well, what's Disney going to do if they need to get a new satellite up there for their all their networking and all that stuff? Guess who's going to send it up? Ain't going to be a NASA. There's only so many places in the world you can go to have that done. And SpaceX has got the market cornered right now.
Was it SpaceX and Blue Origin are the only two, I think, that can
Blue
do it
Origin's not
besides-
doing half of what SpaceX is doing though. See, Blue Origin and like Virgin, what's his name from Virgin? They're pretty
Richard
much just
Branson.
they're just trying to build a spaceship that can go into the thing. They're not doing rocket launches. They're not doing all this real extensive stuff like SpaceX is. Right, and Russia's not. Nobody wants to go to Russia for anything. So
a few
That's what I'm
times
saying.
I know a few times we sent our stuff to Russia and lost it from Russia. because our stuff here was not, well, it wasn't as good of a launching spot for where they
But
wanted to go.
I would say on the forefront, even though, like you said, India and Russia and all them are doing that. As far as the forefront of technology goes in that era, in that industry, though, SpaceX is, I think, way ahead of the game. I mean,
I don't know there, Jonathan.
because there's always a difference of private money versus government money, government funded projects versus privately funded projects. Privately funded projects tend to have quicker, faster, and better innovation than government funded projects because they're on deadlines. They have to answer to investors. You know, they only have so much money to spend every year. There, you know what I'm saying? Where the government will just keep throwing blank checks at shit and get no progress.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that, Mark. We have some good eye surgeons here too.
I see Cheetah Rivera died.
Yeah. Are you
A
familiar?
lot of the medical innovations around the world end up coming out of the US.
And we have some
Because
pretty
of-
good ones down here, I tell you.
Because
a lot of other doctors from around the world will come to the US to study and
Yep.
do other things too.
a lot of people come from out of the US, say
Why
the
do you think
Middle
there's
East,
so
and
many
come
doctors from India over here?
Here. Yeah.
Because there's
A lot
more
of them
money
are
over
here as
here to
well.
be made,
Yeah.
and the education is top notch. I mean, plus if you have if you're a doctor in the US, you got an MD in the US, it can pretty much transfer over to anywhere you go. But if you go get an MD in India, most likely most countries aren't going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a
Paul, are you familiar with that Cheetah?
Yeah, she was big in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Apparently she was just performing in 2015.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was a trained ballet dancer and then went into show business.
There's actually, if you look at a lot of the medical equipment, there's actually quite a bit of it that's made by the same defense contractors that work for the US government. Like GE makes a lot of medical stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's quite a few defense contractors that make a lot of medical equipment that's part of their business. Like a lot of the MRI machines and the CAT scans and all that, all those machines, a lot of those are built by GE and other companies.
A part of some of these machines are made by a company, I think it's in Denmark, because they're the only ones that can make it.
Right. Then you do have companies around the world that pretty much own the market on one specific item because they're the only ones that have the tech to do it, or they might have the materials or whatever.
Because there's a few things, there's only 2 companies in the whole world that can actually make it.
Because GE actually has their hands in a lot of pots too.
Yeah. They've gotten aviation, fuel, fossil fuels, oils, alternative fuel like solar, wind.
Hey everybody, just so you know that our good friend down in Australia is doing a poll in the chat. So
Okay. What's the deal?
Oh,
one?
and he's the only one typing in the chat.
yep.
Oh, Tim?
Type.
Tim says, let's take a vote. Type 1 if you think Andrew is a virgin.
Tim.
Northside said 2. Justin's just staying out of it. Andrew
See
said,
what he
Well, I
does.
mean, Andrew could answer the question now and just put the whole thing to rest.
yeah.
You really want? I'm not asking him to, but he could.
Just leave it be, Tim.
The it's still above freezing by 1 degree. It's 34 degrees here.
Yay.
We still got a light misty rain.
Is it sleeting?
What's that?
Is it almost sleeting?
No, it's a misty type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. See if
'cause
you
usually
can
when
you can just see a bit of it out here, you know.
usually when it's that temperature, usually you get some sleep mixed in there. You sound like you're need some coffee.
I
Yeah.
would if I drank coffee, but I don't drink coffee.
Or
I'm not a coffee drinker either.
well, Justin sounds like he needs caffeine.
So you're implying Justin sounds like he needs something?
Yeah. Soda.
Yeah, I'm just worn out from last night because we were at the hospital so late.
Yeah.
Oh,
What time did you get back home?
I want to think it was around like 1 or 2, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to bed at, because I didn't go to bed as soon as I got home. I kind of winded down a little bit. And then, because I was real tired at the hospital, I kept like dozing off when I was laying in the hospital bed, but I didn't really sleep. Just kind of dozing off for a couple minutes and I'd wake up. But then when I got home, I had a burst of energy, like I passed the tired point,
Mm.
And then so I didn't go, and then I was up by, I think I got up around 11 today. I got
Can be very
5 or
tiring.
6 hours, but
As I said, it can be very tiring being in hospital.
well,
Yeah.
especially if you get admitted, because it's hard to sleep when you get admitted in a hospital, because either you could be in a room with somebody else and they're constantly coming in and out for that person.
Yeah, I had that
They
problem.
they're
as
or
well.
they're
The
just
other-
coming in and out for you.
or the other person is snoring.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that problem where a guy was snoring and then there was another guy talking to himself for 3 or 4 hours.
Like when I was in the hospital, I got admitted, I was in a room by myself, like it was a single room, but they were coming in like every 45 minutes to check on me and do this and that and everything else. And it was just like, Jesus Christ. You'd start to doze off and then somebody would walk in and the lights would flip on and be like, ah.
Yeah. You'd get like 2 hours and then another 2 hours and then another 2 hours.
Because I got admitted for 3 days because I had really bad pneumonia about, what was it? Probably 2 years after we moved here. Luckily, when Kelly or Sarah was like asking me, like the kids and stuff were begging me to go to the ski show with them, and I just was coughing so bad, and I went and made it about 100 yards out to where they were going to sit down to watch it, and started getting real dizzy and about passed out. But luckily, I was right across the street from the hospital. I was literally like maybe 200-300 yards from the hospital. So I just stumbled back to the car as best as I could, got in the car, and Sarah took me across the street to the hospital, and they ended up admitting me for 3 days.
Just walked. Couldn't have just walked.
Dude, I barely could make it back to the car.
Doubled
I was
over.
only That
double
was
the,
only like 100 yards away. The hospital was probably about maybe 400 yards across the street. I wasn't trying to go across some major highway to get to the hospital. Like I was just getting really dizzy and about passed out.
Tim's saying you get way more sick for your age.
That was the only time I've ever been admitted to the hospital. That was about 8 years ago.
yeah, you didn't have a hospital stay last night. You were just in the emergency room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my fair share of stays at the emergency room. Probably about
Yeah.
7 or 8 times over the last like 5 years.
Jonathan, why'd
I
you
re-
move
I
out of
reckon-
South Carolina?
I reckon I'm well over that.
But I've been there tons of other times with the kids and Sarah and other people, so I know my way around that hospital like the back of my hand, because I've been in there so many
Right.
times. But
I know my way around the hospital because one of my old doctors his office was in the hospital.
Yeah. It's right next. Well, some of the outpatient services are right next door to the A&E. So some of them you've actually got to walk through the A&E and then to the side.
Is it this
A and
hospital?
E,
You either
what's A and
parked,
E?
you either had to park by the emergency
The
department or
emergency
park on the
department,
opposite end.
A&E, accident and emergency,
Oh, okay.
A&E.
Yeah, we just
Depends
call
on
it
which
emergency
country
room.
you're in.
Yeah,
'Cause
we call it the ER over here, emergency room.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
ED, because ED means something very different over here. So
Dominic, we call it emergency department or emergency room.
Nah,
Yeah.
I would say majority it's emergency room, ER.
yeah, as I said, ED means erectile dysfunction, so we don't use the words ED over here.
Oh,
That means the same thing over here, trust me.
That's why we don't use ED though. See you, Andrew.
Oh, that was sudden. Later. Not really, Tim. Like just this past few months has been kind of up and down, but before that, I didn't really get sick that much. Last few months, it's been like one thing after another, though. But I mean,
Yeah.
that happens. You'll go through spells like that where you'll have a bunch of fucking dumb shit going on for a little while, and then
I've
you won't have
been-
shit happen for years, and then they'll do it again.
Yeah, because I've been there 4 in the last 12 months. I think I've been the last 7 or 8. I reckon I've been there 17 or 18 times. But there's only been two overnight stays there, whereas some of them have just been in and out.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me, Tim. Fucking kids are petri dishes, bro.
Yes, for sure.
Because they're not as hygienic as other people may be. Because they,
Well, in their environment in school, it's like all those desktops and all the kids putting their hands on everything and sneezing and going on.
right,
And on.
not every kid washes their hand when they go to the
Yeah,
bathroom. And,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true too, Ken. It's that time of the year. So. Like I said, when I was in the emergency room last night, about 80% of the people in there were freaking there because they had either the flu or COVID. Because like I said, when the nurse told me how many patients there were. She goes, yeah, there's a lot of people coming in for COVID and flu related symptoms. And you could see it when you were in the waiting room. There was tons of people out there that had masks on. And they were all around Paul's age. They were all in they looked like they were all in around their 60s and 70s. There was a lot of older people in there last night.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, they had said when I asked when the nurse was telling me that there were 65 patients, but they only had 50 rooms for the emergency room, so they were a little over. I mean, it wasn't extremely overwhelming, but when they finally brought me to my room, they actually a nurse came out and called about 10 names because they had just like gotten like 10 rooms cleared and cleaned, and she called like 10 names and she walked us back in this massive group. And as she was coming by the room numbers, she was like, all right, you're in here. And then I was the first one to get out of the group. And she was like, all right, you're room 25. And then I went in there and then she walked off with the rest of the group and was kind of showing them what rooms to go into. She had like a whole stack of papers with different people's names on them. Plus, you got to remember too, when people come in the ambulances, they get first priority.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, when you come in an ambulance, you get priority.
Oh, yeah.
I should have called the fucking ambulance last night because I sat in that damn waiting room for almost 2 hours before I got a room.
Yeah, they put you right in a room right away if you go by ambulance.
Like when I went last time, I only had to wait 10 minutes for a room when I got off the ambulance.
Yeah.
I sat there with the ambulance, ambulance driver and the EMT. I don't want to mispronounce what they were, but anyway, I sat there with them for about 10 minutes while they got my room together, and I was right back in a room. Saw a doctor within 10 minutes after that.
Yeah. Tim says for dinner last night he had 2 chili cheese dogs and he's paying for it today.
Did you have jalapenos on them?
He's doing the Johnny Cash, the Burning Ring of Fire.
Burning Ring of Fire.
Jalapenos and onions. It's the only way to do it. My stepdad used to do what he called the gut buster. It was jalapenos, onions, mustard, and ketchup. I didn't like mustard and ketchup on my chili cheese dogs. He's got the same fucking build as Tim too. Like never gains a damn pound.
Really?
Oh yeah, my stepdad could eat and never gain a damn pound. Scrawny as shit his whole life. And still is to this day. And he's now in his, I think, late 60s now. Oh, you can always add hot sauce to your chili too, Mark, if you want to spice it up. Your chili's not hot. You can always put a little bit of hot sauce on top. Some people do that. I prefer a lot of cheese on my chili cheese dogs. Like I coat the whole top of it with cheese.
Hmm.
Well, let me look up this Plex servers beekeeper movie. Oh, that's a good copy, Corey. Nice.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'd agree with Mark. They are very mild.
Well, jalapenos, I mean, if you're somebody that likes hot stuff, yeah, they're not overly hot, but I think they
I'd rather go with
provide,
the habanero.
I think they provide just with certain foods, it's just like the perfect amount of spice. It's not overly spicy where it kills the flavor, but it adds enough little spicy. That's like the Carolina Reapers. Whew,
Yeah.
those
Now
are the
that's
hottest peppers in the world right there.
now
Those things are
that's
vicious.
that's the sort of spice that I'm in.
Those things will fucking kill you if you got an ulcer and you eat one of those.
I think that's how I got an ulcer, eating those.
I've
Just
had
went through
the
I think
crazy
it burns through my
sweats I've
stomach.
seen from people eating that shit, eating a
Yeah.
Carolina Reaper. Like I've seen people actually take a whole pepper and put it in their mouth, and the amount of sweat they get. Oh my God. Yeah, I miss the days of the one chip challenge videos. Those were funny. Because it doesn't hit you till about 30 seconds after you eat the chip.
Hmm.
Everybody's like, oh, it's ain't that bad. And then about 30 seconds later, here come the sweats. I actually wanted to try one of those, but they were expensive when that challenge was popular. They were like $25 for one chip.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm not paying $25 for one chip. And they're still pricey too if you go on Amazon. I think they're still around $25. Just looks like an oversized Dorito chip. So you at least heard from Hodges? Like, has he at least called you and say he's okay and all that, or what?
No, I haven't heard from Paul Hodges at all.
Guess he must be busy.
Well, I think it's a classic. I think he wanted to take a break.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if he comes back, then it'll be on when he decides he wants to come back,
He's probably burnt out.
under no pressure.
That happens.
I mean, I enjoyed having him, but not, I also understand, it gets a little tedious after a while.
Some people get burnt out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, he was never really into YouTube itself to begin with. I mean,
No,
he
no,
he
no,
didn't
no.
he
In
didn't
fact,
post.
there's lots of times he just sit there and stare at the camera, or do something.
Well, what I'm saying is like if you even look at his channel, he would maybe post one video a year. He didn't post very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, he
everybody's
was.
life changes.
Yep.
Dude, I've seen people with big ass channels that just walked away from him. It wasn't because of a medical issue or nothing. There's tons of channels out there that you'll find that will have 300,000-400,000 subs. They were getting really successful. They just got burnt out and walked away.
Well, I feel almost obligated. That's why I come in on as much
Yeah.
as I
I know
can.
that feeling.
You don't have to feel obligated.
Because we got a lot of friends in here that, look forward to having some place to go and just shoot the baloney,
Hmm.
Well, I will look at it as a way it gives you something to do every day too, because
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
it's not like you get out much. I mean,
It's a double-edged sword, you bet. But I mean, I also, I've told you this before, I feel bad if I'm not there right at time, right on time, or
actually, to be honest with you, I do get a lot of calls when you're not on time. I will. I'll get like 6, 7 people call me. What the hell is going on? Where's Murray at?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it.
Yep. I think it's about that
I
time.
think it's about time it slowed down enough. But thank you, everybody, for being here. Mark, Tim, Brother Ken, of course, Dominic and Justin. Jonathan, everybody, thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again tomorrow morning,
Catch you guys
9
later.
o'clock Eastern time. Bye for now.